Good morning. And I just have to say, God is good. Every day, every single day. Well, I'm happy to be here and really honored to share my story with all of you and all of you. I grew up in a little teeny Episcopal church in Southeast DC, all black community. And in that church, my mother was in the choir, my father was an usher, both of my sisters were in the choir, and we grew up with the understanding in that church that every religion, every person had a right to express God. That's how we were raised. So much so that if we couldn't take that hour-long drive out to Southeast DC from Northeast DC to church, our parents were determined that we would go to some church. So I grew up knowing what it was like to listen to Latin in the Catholic Church, all the way to the Mennonites across the street and the Baptists across the street. We went to church, period. But one of the most wonderful things about growing up Episcopal that I still to this day love was that whole piece of the choir, certainly because my mother sang in it, and the pageantry of the procession. The way we brought Christ into the church was always impressive for me, always gave me an experience. So much so, and I don't even think my sister knows this, I used to play procession going up and down the steps with my little Bible and the things that my sister would wear in the choir. So I love the pageantry, but I also love the community of the Episcopal Church. When I grew up and left the area after college, I went on the quest to find myself. Those were the 70s. And finding myself had a lot to do with coming into knowing not only different kinds of people outside of my community, but people of different religions and different focuses. Some that meditated, some that were Muslim, some were Buddhists, some were Hindus. And I really got to experience the depth of what it was like for others to experience their God in a different way. And it really enriched who I was. So when I came back to the Washington, D.C. area with that experience, I wasn't quite sure where I fit because I wasn't now outside of that idea that I was just one way, that I was Episcopal or I was whatever I was. And it took a friend of mine, Marion Cohn, as I was driving up, and you might know from her last name, she's Jewish. We were driving up Mass Avenue, we turned and came past the cathedral, and she said, "What is that?" And I said, "That's the Washington National Cathedral." She said, "Well, what's the denomination?" I said, "It's Episcopal, but they're open to everyone being a part of it." She said, "That's where you need to be." She said, "If they're open to everyone and everyone's focus on God, you need to be there." So I invited her to attend church with me, and it was a beautiful experience. We were sitting in my favorite row that I gave up this morning to sit over there. I'm just saying, right there, that's my favorite row, second on the end. Gave that up, and we sat there. And when it was time to go up for communion, I said to Marion, "You should go up with us." She said, "But I'm Jewish, I can't go up." I said, "No, you should go up." So she goes up, and she stands, and she crosses her arms, and she goes for the blessing. The blessing that was given to her that day was her favorite Jewish prayer that she always loved since she was a child. And she was so moved by that. One of the things that really moved me when we were growing up was I came right through that door right there to witness all the different choirs from around the Washington, D.C. area in praise of God here. And then after that, just looking up at this cathedral going, wow. I mean, I love the pageantry of the aisle in my small little church, but it was kind of just like right there. It wasn't this. And being here in the beauty of all of this really, really moved my soul. So when I came back into the church, based on Marion's suggestion, I found that all of that was here. All of that welcome, all of the things I had learned, I had found my home. And I always feel a special something. There's always a message when I come here, always. So what I'm asking each of you today is to take a look around this place. This place is really special. It's a place where you can come with your friends, even if they're Jewish. It's a place you can come with your burdens, even if you don't know what to do with them. Because we have one another, not only a community, but we have incredible leadership taking us there. So I'm asking you to embrace this mission and embrace the legacy that lives here by supporting, because if you do look around, you'll see that this place is God's love. And I did have that already written into my presentation, because God is good, always and every single day. Thank you.